threes? Did you give them a magic potion in the locker room?
Oh, we were good. We didn't finish the first half. We were pretty good the first half. They were stuck on 17 for a long time. But we shared the ball. Nick got open, but a lot of them, we had 24 turnovers again. Assists again. But I think we rebounded the ball great, which was a big thing. We did a good job on Knowles, which I think is important. Rose, I think, and Stiggers hurt us, but they're both really capable players. But good win. Sterling, our front line got 28 rebounds. Front line starters. That's pretty darn impressive. So we got to validate this one on Wednesday.
Especially in the wake of a game we had that type of shooting, especially in the second half. On the other hand, how impressive was it to have the defensive performance to hold another opponent into the 30% of shooting for another game?
That's how we need to play. If we rebound and defend and don't turn the ball over, that's generally the way we're most successful. And then keep people off the foul line. We acted a little silly. It was almost like last year for a brief moment, but we got back on track. But we gotta be a defensive and rebounding team and take care of the ball, especially as short-handed as we are.
You talked about how points are probably an overrated way of evaluating a player's performance, and you've mentioned how Ben Moore has struggled a little bit recently, but he gives you 10 rebounds, 3 assists, a block shot. Are you seeing him starting to emerge from that struggle that you've described after a couple of recent games?
Well, if you just look at what he's done, you don't need to be rocket scientist to know he's much better than what he's done. But this is what, he's capable of doing stuff like this every game. He's a kid that cares. He just gets too down on himself. That's his problem. But, this is what I expect. Every time he steps out on the court, he's capable of getting a triple-double in my mind. It'll happen. I look at Knowles. Last year, he looked like he was deer in headlights. Now I watch him. His confidence has just risen. You saw Keith's progress. You see Sterling. I think he just gets better. Yannick. Ben's really, really talented, and he'll be fine.
Is this team a better defensive team than last year's?
Not yet. We lost our 2 best defenders, and Nick and Sean. Sean team-wise, but Yannick seems to be taking a lot of what he learned from Sean. Talking, getting everybody in the right spots, and then Ryan. Ryan's always been a really good on-ball defender. He's always kind of will lose a little concentration off the ball. That's coming more and more. I think it has a chance to be because we rebound so well. And, and we got some, like Ben and Cannon, Yannick, and Marcus have intelligence. When your big guys are behind you and talk and correct mistakes, that helps. So I think we have a chance to be a good thing.
Was there any discussion on the bench that Nick tied the record for three-pointers and anyone lobbying to try to get him back in to have another shot at breaking it?
It was a close game he'd have been in. I didn't know. I think I tend to look down the other bench and I admire the hell out of that coach. I don't think Nick would be that concerned about it. He'll have his chances, but when you're up like we were up, it's a way to reward Jonathan and John Mike and Kevin and get Ben Malagu some minutes that he needed. So I wasn't aware of it, but I knew he was making a lot of shots. It was pretty impressive.
Now, Sterling has been doing some of the little things all throughout the season. How gratifying is it to see him finally have some of his offensive game step to the forefront?
I don't worry about that. You know, he works hard. You see everybody zoning us without Keith, you know, without Justin. But, you know, I got confidence in, you know, Ben Amalagu and Sterling and Ryan. They just, you know, they just don't look to shoot a lot. They'll shoot it when it's open, and they're only going to get better. But Sterling to me is what basketball should be about. You know, he night in and night out, we can never value what's on this sheet, what he gives you, what he brings. But he's like that every practice. So anything he does and gets some recognition, I'm thrilled. You know, he had 11.7 assists, no turnovers, 9 rebounds. It's pretty darn good.
Did you see that selflessness in him when you recruited him, or has he surprised you a little bit with that maturity?
When I watched him play, I loved him. He's a little different than Shannon. I got to coach Shannon. Shannon, you know, is like a world-class athlete. But Sterling just did whatever it took. You know, he guarded Jabari Parker. I think they lost, you know, the state championship in the last seconds. I think Jabari got 11. He always took the best player, took the challenge, was a great teammate. You know, the kids we have coming in are all like that. I think, and you know, the kids we had sitting on the bench that aren't in uniform are like that. So they better get us now.
You've mentioned recently that you don't think Kennedy's in shape yet. It's been more than a month. He played another 22 minutes tonight. Is he getting close?
Yeah, and he's gonna work tomorrow. He's been sick, you know, the last week. He's gonna work tomorrow. We got Monday and Tuesday to work hard. He's getting closer. He's gonna have to play more in our next game because their front line is huge. You know, they got Perry and Cousins. They got real size up front, so the matchups might be a little bit better for him. So he'll play more and more. When you see him, we threw a lob to him, he didn't dunk it. Jonathan threw him a great pass, he didn't dunk it. When you see him dunking stuff and exploding, then you'll know he's in the kind of shape he needs to be in. But I think it was more not feeling good the last 4 or 5 days.
Anything else?
You mentioned Ben Amalagu. You sat down and talked with Ben Moore a little bit last week, and now you're responding with a better game. Did you take a similar approach to Ben Amalagu and how he's been playing recently?
I haven't found the right buttons to push there yet. I'm working on it, but you know, I hadn't seen anything from him like I see in practice or I saw him in high school. We just gotta. He's much better, and I got to do a better job of making him realize that. You know, we need him, and he's certainly capable. So we just, you know, nice thing is we won some games. You know, he's starting to get it adjusted a little bit, but he'll get better. He has really good people around him. You know, his teammates believe in him, and that's the most important thing right now.
Anything else? Good.
Thank you.